Hi, welcome back to Sugar Free. This is your daily tarot for Tuesday, the 18th of September 2018. Early evening here in the south of England. It was incredibly misty this morning. We couldn't see the hill up behind the trees. It's the first one of the season. But it's turned into the most beautiful evening, a gentle, damp, golden evening. And excuse me, they are harvesting the corn in the fields for the winter feed for the cows. And I think it's probably a little bit early that they're doing that. We went to sit out in the garden earlier and have a cup of tea, and it was just so noisy. The combine harvester in the truck going past. But I think what happened with the heat wave, oh dear, excuse me. I think essentially everything is having and has had a second spring this year. I mean, the birds have had another go. I've seen them flitting in and out of the bushes. The odd eggshell lying, newly broken, on the ground. And several of the plants and the cropping plants have had another go. So I guess maybe, I mean, I haven't looked at a weather forecast. I guess maybe the farmers are looking at the forecast and seeing that there's a bit of heavy weather on the way. So it's like, well, better get it in now. Time, tide, and harvest wait for no one. Anyway, I'm going to do a 3-card Major Arcana reading, and then I'll be pulling one from the Swords, one from the Wands, one from the Pentacles, and one from the Cups, and then one from the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. So, that's my last shuffle. That's my last cut. Just take out my earphones. And let's see what we get. Right, card number 1, the energy as we come into the reading. Temperance. Lovely. Card number 2, the block or drain. The Emperor. Card number 3, the key to power. The Empress. Ooh. Now, we had the Emperor and the Empress next to each other last week, one day, I think. God, dear Lord. Right, well, we're coming in a place of balance and stillness, stasis, the end of the second third of the cycle, a kind of a point by which we have reached some sense of balance and some sense of sort of self-containedness, represented here by the pouring of the liquid, the emotion, from one vessel to another, just quietly pouring from one to the other, back that way, back that way. This stasis, there's a kind of closed circuit at work here. Wow, okay, this really is about breaking out again. Why are all my readings about that? I wonder. Because what we have here is the block or the drain. It's the Emperor, the rules man, the authority. Blocking, draining, keeping things in place. And when the Emperor shows up either in the reverse or here in the middle position as the block or drain, there's a sense of miswielded power, badly wielded power, or straight up unwielded power. But that's more when he's in the reverse. Here, he's blocking. And it's like there's an overemphasis on what is allowed and what is not allowed. And bottom line, with the Empress here as the key to power, everything is allowed. Anything that can be, will be. Perhaps that will be the title of this reading. We'll see what comes out in the minors and what Kuan Yin has to say. But what I'm seeing here is the Emperor he's got his back to the Empress here. And he's looking at the Angel of Temperance and he's saying, yeah, you just keep moving. Yeah, that's all you need to do. No, don't look beyond this self-contained little closed circuit here of pouring one to the other and back to the other and back to the other. Just no, just keep looking at that. Don't look at anything else. I said don't look at anything else. But behind him is this extraordinary creativity, creation, abundance, manifestation, everything. What we've got here is a sense of limit. Only this liquid, only this jar, and only this jar. Okay? This is closed. She's not getting that liquid from anywhere else other than the other jar. Right? It's not flowing in anywhere and it's not flowing out anywhere. It's contained. And the block or drain is a kind of forcing of the self to keep it that way. But I tell you what, with the Shakti, the pure Shakti of the Empress here, there is no limit. There is no limit. There is source after source after source, pouring into pool after pool, pouring into stream, into river, into estuary, and out into the ocean. Possibly not estuary. I tell you what comes to mind there is a place on the north coast of Cornwall. Extraordinary place. There are several places like this, but this is the one I know, where the river flows down from the uplands in the centre of the peninsula, flows north down the hill towards the coast, and it opens straight out onto the ocean. And you can go right down there. I remember going down there with a very dear friend of mine who's no longer with us, unfortunately. But we went out for a drive down there one day years ago, and we walked right to the end of the river and sat on the rocks watching the river flow into the ocean with big waves crashing on the rocks and the ocean coming up and pushing up into the river. And there must have been somewhere in those contra flows, the massive flow force of the ocean and the tiny little intense flow force of the river tumbling down from the moorland down to the coast. There must have been tiny little points of stasis, but we couldn't see them. We weren't looking for them, but it's just a thought. Yes, this is about the juxtaposition of flow and stasis. And also I see that the flow of power of the Emperor here with his back to his wife. And I've talked before about the Shakti and the Shiva, the male principle of what is, and the female principle of the action, the energy behind the action of what is. This is things, this is actions of things. And he has his back to her. But I tell you what, he's useless without her. I mean, what's the point of objects if there is no energy to power them into action? And likewise, what's the point of energy to power things if there are no things? However, in this reading, the Shakti is the key. He's watching her, saying, no, just keep it there, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. Don't look up, don't look around, just watch them cups Watch those jugs. Watch it, or you might spill a drop. You spill a drop. Okay? She's just sitting there going, yeah, whatever. Abundance. Flow. There will be more. There will always be more. And that's the key to power. Let's see what we have in the swords. Wow. Not a powerful lady. Queen of Swords. So there's a summoning here. There's a summoning to speak. Oh, powerful, powerful female energy here. Let's see what else we get. I'm just going to get them out. 5 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Wonderful. And 10 of Cups. I saw it before I pulled it. Wunderbar. Wunderbar. Okay, well look. Clearly the forces of creation are overcoming the forces of conflict and kind of things being tight in. I mean, suddenly I see, for the first time, I see these 5 wands as kind of all tangled up with each other in this sort of nasty little higgledy-piggledy little structure that these silly youths here, all the same size, all wielding the same power, and all going, no, 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 me, no, me, no, me. I'm first, I'm strongest. It's like, no, you are all the same. And all you're doing is getting your power tangled up with each other. But, you know, this is kind of ridiculous. Ridiculous when we have the Empress as the key to power, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. Tomorrow's a superb day. So I would say from this, I say tomorrow, I'm reading on Monday the 17th. Wednesday the 18th, wunderbar. I would say in this, it is not necessary to engage and kind of invest your energy in fighting, in squabbling, in trying to decide who's right, who's wrong, and in a sense trying to keep things as they are, or engaging with influences or forces that would encourage you to keep things as they are. No, 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 no. It's a day for absolutely raising your gaze and looking around. Have a good look, because wondrous things are out there. Let's see. And they truly are. They truly are. Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say. I'm going to hold the deck and say the mantra in my mind. Well, I get little groups of cards that come up again and again, and I flick the pack. I flick it this way, I flick it that way. I don't shuffle it. Not necessary. There are over 40 cards in here, but I open, and here we have Priestess of Perfect Pairing makes the match. Now, the reason I don't shuffle it is just because I open the pack at random and it's only one card. We've had this card before. Priestess of Perfect Pairing makes the match. We have the ewe and the ram. And there's the lovely, amazing little girl goddess flying over the flock, working out who's going to go best with whom. Which sperm with which egg will make the best spring lambs. So there's no closed circuit going on here. There's the meeting of opposites going on here. You know, this is in a sense the diametric opposite. In a sense. How can something be in a sense the diametric opposite? I think I'm over-egging it there. There's an opposite feeling between the closed circuit of the liquid being poured from one jug to the other. I mean, nothing comes of nothing, which I think is King Lear. I'll have to check that. Nothing comes of nothing, but here with the perfect pairing, the match between the male and the female principal. Look what comes. Wonderful. I mean, those little children there didn't come from nowhere, did they? So raise your gaze, I would say. Raise your gaze from what you normally look at, despite any kind of injunctions or any sense of that being wrong or any sense of that being kind of contrary to the rule book. Raise your eyes from the rule book and just see what's out there. You know, light, life, fruit, time, wind, beautiful creatures. Oh, it's all out there. And that's the spirit of the Shakti, the infinite abundance of the Shakti. Abundance in diverse forms. And clearly this is a day for it. Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. And like, just forget all this silly squabbling here. It really is an utter distraction. And I think when this emperor comes to his senses and turns around and looks Madama Shakti back in the eye, he will probably feel rather silly for having turned his back on her in the first place. Okay, thank you for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Love to see your comments. And I'll see you again for another reading soon. Cheers then. Bye-bye.